Hey everybody, wanted to take a moment to go over the status of all the onboarding tasks that we have for American Asphalt. I'm going to record a quick video on these things, and I am certainly available to walk you through these items at your request at any time. But you have this video, hopefully with instructions on showing you the status of things and also how to verify what's going on with your account and your setup in Top Builder Solutions. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over these items. First of all, some of these items we've already covered in detail before. I'll reiterate how it was done and the status, and then how you can verify the information, especially the Spectrum financial history interface, including the invoice summary. The interface includes, the balances, the credit, revenue year to date, revenue over the prior year, and then a history of all the invoices. And then we have the Spectrum job history and job history summary, where we summarize jobs by the status, including the number of jobs and the total amounts by status. But I want to start with a couple things that are new. First of all, I wanted everybody to know that we developed a data conversion utility to convert all the customers and contacts from Spectrum into Top Builder Solutions for a given Spectrum customer code, company code. Sorry, AAC is the company code. And what we did is we plugged in AAC as the company code, ran the interface. It used that company code to find the connection information to your database using the Spectrum interface setup we did, and then it pulls in all the customers or accounts in Top Builder and all the contacts, including the phone numbers, fax numbers, addresses, and then for the contacts, the title, the mobile office, fax numbers, and email addresses, and then also their addresses as well. Very nice. I'll go over that with you in a minute. And we completed and verified the bid to win interface to Top Builder from the bid to win connection and the bid to win database. So I'm going to start with that, and then also going to cover a couple new items. We created the ability so that you can define your own customer codes for bid to win and Spectrum in the system. That way you don't rely on system generated customer codes. You can define your own, which is what we gathered from working with your data and with your system for a while. And that way, if you create a new customer in Top Builder and you give it a Spectrum customer code, and we send that over to Spectrum, we'll create a new customer using that customer code in Spectrum, and then the bid to win interface and the Spectrum financial history interface and job history interface all works off of those codes. It's very nice, and I think you'll appreciate it. Okay, so real quickly, I'm going to go over the data conversion. Again, we convert all the customers and contacts from the AAC customer code in Spectrum. We can rerun that at any time without affecting ones we've already converted. And then all the contacts, of course, for the customer are pulled in and associated to that account in Top Builder. We pulled customers of all statuses, even inactive ones, in Top Builder, and we did that for a reason. The reason why we pulled the inactive ones in is because they may not be active in Spectrum from a customer standpoint or a billing standpoint, accounting standpoint, but you still want to market to them, I would assume. You'll want them on your newsletter, or you want to include them on your email marketing campaigns. You can change that, of course, but I didn't want to shortchange you on being able to market to or sell to as many people as possible. So we went ahead and converted them over, and then we set their status in Top Builder as inactive if they're not an active customer or account. And then all the contacts were added again with the phone numbers and their email address and their addresses. And then we also set the primary contact for the customer in Top Builder, which was also set in Spectrum. So that's really nice. And then, of course, like I said, we pulled in the contacts as well. So we pulled in 2,364 new accounts into Top Builder with 1,410 contacts. We verified the data, and it works and looks very nice. So let me show you that real quick. First of all, I'm going to log into Spectrum here under Joe's account, and I'm going to pull up one of the accounts that we found to be a good one for verification, and that's All Surface Asphalt Paving, customer code ALLPAV, PAV, ALLPAV. And then if I go into Top Builder, I can log in under Joe as well. Okay. And if I go to accounts, it's all Sir, found it. Okay, you can see we've got a duplicate in there. I think that one looks like we pulled that in from Peter's database. And so we do have a duplicate, and we have a utility to merge duplicates, which I'll talk about in a minute. However, you'll see here that in the description of this account, All Surface Asphalt Pavings, it has in the description, this account was created from your Spectrum database using the Top Builder Solutions data conversion and setup process. That lets you know that we got it from Spectrum. And then if you drill down into that, you'll see real quickly we have that account with their phone and their fax the way it was set up in Spectrum. Phone and fax, it happens to be the same. The primary contact being Jessica here in accounts payable. So we've got her set as the primary contact with the work phone number and her email address. We also pulled in the address of that account. Okay. And then all the other contacts. And of course you can drill down into the contacts and see the details. But we only have one title, and that's for Jessica in accounts payable. There she is. We can drill down into that and see that we only have a work phone number for her and an email. But should she have an address, should she have a separate work phone number, mobile, fax, that will show up. Very nice. So this is how you can go verify the data in Top Builder that was converted out of Spectrum. Again, we went through a verification process, very detailed. Everything checks out and is ready to go for you. Okay, so the next thing I want to cover with you is the bid to win interface. Okay, so the bid to win history interface works like this in summary. It runs once a day at midnight and refreshes all bid history for each customer account. Obviously, it has to have a bid to win customer code in there to match up with Top Builder with bid to win. However, the data conversion process that we wrote copies the Spectrum customer code over to the bid to win customer code, and it uses that to look up the customer in bid to win. This is the guidance we got from Joe, who passed that on to Dexter Cheney. And we built that into our data conversion process. The bid to win history is summarized by status values. Whatever you're using in bid to win, it doesn't have to be predefined, and we show you the totals and the amounts that we pull across. We've run this for all the bid to win customer codes in the system and verified it. The best one to use to verify seems to be R&R Construction, so I'll show you that right now. We don't have access to your bid to win system. We have direct access to your database. So we use that direct access to the database to verify our results. But if I go into Top Builder and I query for R&R, here we go. We've got a duplicate in here. And again, we need to run through a process to merge these, which we'll talk about later. Here we have the information for R&R contractors. Everything that we pulled over from, I think this came from Peter actually, but we do have the Spectrum customer code and the bid to win customer code in here, and these can be changed or added when you create a new account. Now, if I go to the bid history tab, you will see that I have, and we verified these numbers, the summary by status. 111 pending with this dollar amount, so on and so forth, all the way to budgetary. And then we checked on the exact count of bids in here, 146, sorted by most recent date, which is the 28th, which was yesterday, the 28th, today's the 29th, and then sort in descending order. Of course, you can sort any way you would like, but that's how the default sort works. And that's a very easy way of going in and verifying that we pulled in the right bidding information for an account. If you have new statuses that you create, this will adjust automatically. You don't have to do anything in Top Builder to change that. And we're going to talk about the job history and the financial history real quick. We've already covered that in another document for you, but that is also there as well. You'll see this came from Spectrum for R&R contractors, the number of active, completed, and inactive jobs, and the dollar amounts, and then the invoice history. And from a financial summary standpoint, we have the credit, the amount due, and since there's no credit, they have negative credit for R&R contractors. Revenue year to date, revenue for the whole prior year, 2015, and then the balances in the perspective categories. And we have documented this, and I'll show you that real quickly here in this PowerPoint presentation that I'll share to you. In this document, in this PDF, we've documented how we can verify the financial history from Spectrum and the job histories from Spectrum. Okay, and that document you can see right here. Okay, and it's very detailed, going through how we verified real customer accounts, logging into your Spectrum account, ABC Con in the case of credit, because the R&R didn't have any credit. We show you also the balances, and then we show you where we find it in Top Builder, and then how we got the year-to-date revenue, prior year revenue, and then the invoice history. And then, of course, we have the job history all in here, all documented. This is how we verified the data, and you can use the same process to verify all the information. So again, I'm available to walk you through this live anytime. We do want your confirmation that we did our job and we delivered this to your expectation before we move on to the next step. Thank you very much.